Oh shit! We're back at it again, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's not a social production. Yeah, let's get it going. Wednesday, February 20th, 2024. Thank you for joining me once again. If it's your first time joining me today, if it's buckle up, buckle down. But where can you find these videos? You can find them every Wednesday, every Friday, dropped on Instagram. Follow me there if you like. Subscribe on the YouTube channel for the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri if you like to fiscally, financially support the show. If you've been with me from the get-go, sending all the love right back to you, wherever you are, in and around this beautiful planet. If you're tuning in from Canada, what's going on? Wagwan fam. If you're down south in the United States, further down south than that in Mexico, further down south than Mexico, what's going on in South America? We'll get into that as well. What's going on in Europe, Africa, Asia, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Caribbean island. Again, we'll go back to there as well. Finland, the Finnish people, Polish. What's going on? Or Polish, my Polish people. What's going on in Nicaragua? What's going on Bolivia? And we'll get there as well. And all around the world. Basically what I'm trying, if you're in the Arctic, shout out to you. Thank you for joining me. Subscribe. Go ahead and subscribe on the YouTube channel. And you're like, what happens here? We have fun. We talk about everything and nothing. Serious, the silliness with the seriousness. Mostly silliness because it's just fun stuff that goes on around here. Because your boy doesn't know much about anything. And that's the way I like to keep it. Because that only when you don't know anything, it leaves the sky's the limit for knowing and stuff. So you can find stuff out with your boy, with your mans. With your mans that was once a boy but now is a mans. Just like based on age and shit. But in his fart of farts, still a wee man. Big in spirit, but you get the idea. Sip to the gang. Let's get it going. It's Wednesday, obviously, and I like to just start off with saying if you're trying to quit smoking, hang in there. But also, 9 out of 10 doctors recommend if you'd like to try to quit smoking, you should substitute. They say replace the habit. Tits are the number one thing you want to replace them with. That's 9 out of 10 doctors recommend replacing smoking with sucking on tits. So next time you're getting a craving for cigs, reach out for a titty out there somewhere. Maybe buy one, put it in a jar. I don't know, get a silicone tip, put it in a jar. Next time you're craving a cig, open up the jar, silicone in your mouth. What's going on? He's living a healthy lifestyle, they'll say. That's the thing, ladies and gents. Yeah, so 9 out of 10 doctors recommend the titty. The other guy, just based on demographics, suggests you suck on cack. So there you go, health tip of the month. Shout out to the gang doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am also giving out, as you know, you get a lot around here. I'm handing out for everybody. I'm enlarging everybody's nips. If you're watching these videos free of charge for you and your family for a lifetime, it's a lifetime limited offer. Enlarged nips, dude. I got you. We're going 3XL. 3XL, triple the size of your regular nips on the house. You're welcome. No more. Oh no, I'm a new parent. I'm a mom. If you're a mom, if you're a female and you got female nips, you're like, oh no, what am I gonna do? My baby's gonna have a difficult time finding these nips. Not after it's been tripled in size. You're welcome, ladies. No more. Oh, my husband is he's nearsighted or he's farsighted. I don't know which is better. I don't know which is worse. But he can't locate my nips. Every time he tries to go for him, he's sucking on my ribs. What's going on? Enlarge on 3XL nips for you and your mans. Next time you're out there, you're like, oh man, it's dark in here. I wish I could easily see these nips. But guess what? If they're larger, you could pretty much see three. If it's 3 times bigger, you could pretty much see it in daylight, in the afternoon, in the evenings. And even when you turn off the lights in your bedroom or your house or wherever you're situated at, it doesn't matter. You'll find them because it's larger. And that's fantastic. No more people tripping about, I've seen so many marriages fall apart because a fella or a lady couldn't find a nip. I've seen so many, adolescents going off to college, young boys and girls getting their life started and then, can't recognize a nip from a nip. And it's sad. It's really sad. But we'll change all that by making it 3 times bigger, making it much easier to locate so that when you're trying to be like, where's my nip? Or where's her nip? Or where's his nip? Boom, it's right there in your face. No more of these tiny nips. Enlarge them by 3 times. And that's free right here. So tell your family, tell your friends if you like that. That is on the house. We give back around here, and that's what I like to do. Ladies and gents, boys and girls. You're like, what about the size of the hair around the nip? I'm focusing on I'm areola only. I will not, we're working on extending the length of the hair around the nipple as well, 3 times the length of the hair nip. That is, again, easier time, probably flossing. That'll help, but that's in the works, one step at a time. I don't want to do, this is like, did Apple initially release iPhone 15, or did they start with 1? This is pretty much the same concept. There will be tweaks. Maybe in a couple of years, we'll enlarge it one more time and we'll go for XL. Who knows? Or maybe we'll reduce it in size and maybe we'll make it even a little bit more smoother. And you're like, my nips or her nips can't be any smoother. Well, guess what? Somehow we'll make it so that there's no tip to the nip. We'll make it buttonless, essentially. No more just flats, just touch screen on your nips. Getting it going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hope you're having fun out there. If you join me again. What's going on? There's so many smart devices are going on. That's what's going on around the world. Speaking of enhancements and enlargements and getting better at doing things, there's so many demands, so many of our devices, and this is not one of those things that like, oh, breaking news, smart devices. No, it's been around for some time now, thanks to the phones and whatnot. But there's so many more smart. Everything's becoming smart. Everything's becoming smart, and it's not just smart. It's like I saw a phone that was, you could bend the phone. You could bend the phone, ladies and gentlemen. You could bend the phone and put it on your arm. I forget which. I think it was Motorola. I don't know if it was a concept or it was like the real deal. You could bend the phone. You could wrap it around your wrist and just be like, oh, I'm gonna bend this phone. You get, when you get mad in a high stakes meeting where hundreds of thousands of lines or millions of dollars are on the lines and the merger is about to go down. You come out. You missed the meeting or you missed the presentation. You missed the slideshow in the presentation and things got messy in there. And you're like, oh man. After everybody leaves the room, by the way, you're all by yourself. You're like, oh, I'm gonna crush my phone just to relieve a little bit of stress, and then you bend it, and boom, it doesn't break, saving you money. So take out your, that's the thing. There's gonna be other meetings. So aren't you happy that you didn't break your phone thanks to these bendable phones? You're welcome. That's thanks to Motorola. There's rings. You can wear a ring. You can wear a smart ring now. It's like any other ring, but it's smart. It'll track your sleeping pattern. It'll tell you how many times you queef during the evening. It'll tell you farts per second. It'll tell you if it's like a wet fart. It'll tell you if it's like a silent fart. It'll tell you like you need more cabbage in your diet. It'll tell you it'll if it's on your finger, you're sleeping at nighttime. Let's say the entire night you're on your back. It'll start yelling. Automated voice, will turn on your side, switch it up. You've been sleeping on it might wake you up, but that's beside the point. Somebody's got your back. The point is, we're going into everything's becoming smart, which is, there's pros and cons to that. As there are pros and cons to many of things out there, like almost everything out there has got a pros and a cons and a cons and the pros. And which way do we go? Which way is more than if we were to put it on a pedestal? If we were to put it on if we were to just weigh it, if we were to just, I don't know, if we were to assess it, if we were to, what are we even talking about? It's smart devices, ladies and gentlemen, but before we get into the benefits, the pros and cons of that shit, I made my own smart device, because I can't just be out here on the sidelines just watching. I've done my stretches. These quads are ready. These calves are burning. I did 100 squatties today. What's up? And last night too, so I can't feel my anus right now, but that's aside the point. The point is, I'm ready to bring out my own new smart device, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. You leave it up to the experts. You leave it up to the big corporations. Always come with the, regular smartphone, even it bends now. Great, but give me something new. Give me something exciting. Give me something that'll actually change my life for the better. And that's why I went and did research. I conducted tests. I surveyed people. I took people in without them knowing, and I did studies on them. Was it ethical? That wasn't the point. The point was to come up with a really good product, and guess what? Yes, as a result of them being away from their families, not knowing why, where did it even end up, how did it even get there? Yes. Did it cause, some issues in their personal lives? That's not my concern. My concern is science. My concern is business. My concern is bringing a good product to the public. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the all-new Smart Cock Ring. You're welcome. The all-new Smart Cock Ring. It is, take regular cock rings, right? And then again, this took many, many months, years of research, excruciating hours spent behind laptops, behind people, in people inside, people spending time in each other's, just in every little crevice, people were just, and we did it. And we did it, ladies and gentlemen. And we did it. That's right. Together, we cracked the code of, bear with me a few seconds here. The podcast that always keeps on giving and giving and keeps on giving and giving and giving and giving. Bear with me a few more seconds, but we'll get back to it. Just, what's going on? There it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to worry about. No need to get your panties in a bunch. Bear with me a few seconds. There we go. Nothing enhances the show like a great old, you know, when you're right in the middle of something, there's nothing enhances the show like a technical difficulty. The only podcast with the most technical difficulties. I think we're on a roll here. I think we can actually we can break some sort of record. No other podcast will give you this many technical difficulties. I think we might just be onto something here. If you're looking for a podcast with technical difficulties, because we keep that shit reals. And you're like, we just saw you sleep, man. It's not just where I sleep, man. It's where I go to town on myself, dude. You don't even know what happened last night. Pornhub. Basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that, ladies and gents, let's not get sidetracked. After I did a lot of research, after I conducted a lot of tests, I came up with this special smart cock ring. That's right. No more leaving it up to the gods. No more leaving it up to fate. I wonder how many erections I will have today. No more guessing games. I wonder how long my erection will last. Again, it's like going to the casino, man. Guess what? House always wins. It's like playing the stock market, man. Guess what? The market always wins, man. That's where you're playing. You're either playing or you're being played, son. So play on or be played or play. Just use this thing. It's gonna be great because guess what? Takes all the guessing work out of your cock, dude. Guess what? You're gonna before smart cock rings, you'd have 2023 sex, which is like regular sex, and sometimes you might even introduce a cock ring to your bedroom. Nope, whatever, or no cock ring at all. And you're pumping away. You're going at it like a bunch of jackrabbits, pumping. And again, in your mind, you're thinking to yourself, I wonder how many more pumps it takes to get my lover off. I wonder how many more pumps I got to give her until she squirts and drips and drizzles and soaks to bed. I wonder how, and it's just a guessing game. And she says more, she says faster, but how much faster? How much more? Deeper? How much deeper? Wouldn't you like to know exactly how much deeper? Wouldn't you like to know exactly how much faster? Wouldn't you like to have a little bit of like statistical breakdown of how many more pumps you need to get her going, or or him going? Whatever you're doing there, don't leave it up to fate. Don't leave it up to old voodoo. Don't leave it up to just guessing and trying to come up with some sort of know exactly how many pumps it takes. Because with smart rings, it'll actually tell you. It'll tell you, go slow it down. You're about to come. It'll talk to you right in the middle of your sex sesh. And we'll have it built in with the AI. We've already built it with the AI. All right, it's gonna be great. Keep going. Take a deep breath. Slow it down. Pull out a little bit. Breathe 3 seconds. Hold it there. Stuff like this. Pre-recorded all of it, and you can upload with your own voice or her voice or his voice. Or let's say you got a favorite person that you love their voice. Get their voice, and we'll implement. We'll give you everything. She's coming. But you'll know for sure it's not one of those times where she's telling you she's coming, but she's not coming, dude. And you coming, and she's like, "Oh, I wanted all we were so good," but you're like, "You told me you were coming, so that's why I came." But no more guessing games. Listen to the ring. Don't listen to her. Listen to her. Listen to him. Listen to your partner. Listen to your lover, essentially. But also get the smart cock ring. Don't be a Neanderthal. Don't be a savage just pumping away with regular dumb cock rings. Oh man. Just want to stay in the past, don't you? You don't want to progress, dude. You don't want to proceed forward with the. Come aboard. This techno daddy's about to take off with his next. Oh man, this is gonna be fucking great. It's gonna patent it right here, Smart cock ring, dude. You can't. Let's do this. We got this. To get you're welcome. We are also thinking of making an alternative, like smart ring, but for ladies. But it won't be a ring because there's nothing to like. So we're thinking smart balls, maybe a small little like or maybe that's right. You put it in there. It's a small tiny ball, and I'll talk to you. Be like, clench now, release now, breathe now, stuff like that. All implemented. So no more guessing. No more just giving it your best and seeing what'll happen. No. But with all these smart devices, ladies and gentlemen, with all these smart devices, I do wonder sometimes if we are gaining something or if we are losing something. And perhaps we are getting a little bit more convenience. Of course, smartphones are fantastic. We all use them in our daily lives. Like basically, it's a computer in your pocket. Fantastic, great. There's other devices coming out. That's why I went ahead and created the smart cock ring, because I see this, the Apple Vision goggles, the Google glasses. Everybody's doing something, so I'm like, let me change it up a little bit. And that's what I did, man. But that's the thing. I wonder what we're losing in a sense, I guess, because you see people. I haven't seen people in person, but I've seen people in videos. Driving, goggles on, just flipping, scrolling. Nobody's actually driving. They're walking down the street. They look like they got some sort of like, this guy's tweaking out there, and then you get a glimpse of his head, and you're like, okay, this guy's geared up. At least it's a scene. It's happening. People are out there. We're merging. It's just, I wonder, we are losing a little bit of that, because we want to give up a lot of our things that we like to do. Whether it's driving, you like to take the car and be like, oh, let the machine drive it, let the computer drive it. As little by little, I feel like I just don't want us to lose all our animalistic instincts, because it's important. It's important to have there's something there that you don't want to. There's certain things that you don't want to, and I think it's But where do we draw the line? Or perhaps we just adapt and move forward and to become, we lose some, but we gain something. I don't know what we'll, it'll be just like people will like, a lot of things, if we become more dependent on machines, it'll just, it does make it a little bit of a, it does make us some sort of it's kind of like a crutch though. But it's not a crutch, because it's just, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel great about the things that we got already. I'm a little bit skeptical about the wearable and insertable devices that are, that are out there it's coming to you and me very soon. So I'm just like, man, it's good to just be like, I'm gonna just be human. Try to retain a little portion of that. I don't know. I'm just feeling things because I see it. I'm like, little by little, you see this and it's happening. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things to look out for. But enjoy the new cock ring. It's smart. It'll change your life. Use it. And guess what? Call 1-800-SMART cock ring. And in addition to the one cock ring that you'll get 72 other ones. So in total, you'll be getting 73 smart cock rings. And that is a deal of a lifetime. You're basically stealing from me in broad daylight. Somebody call the cops, but we don't, but we won't do that, because the deal's a deal. And that's right, you're welcome. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, what would you do? I saw a video of an elderly gentleman that late in his stage of life, he's still got, he's up there. By the looks of it, I don't know how old he is, but he had old children. He found out that his children weren't his, and it just reminded me of that, 18 years, got you while, got your kids, got you for 18 years. His baby mama crib card bigger than his, 18, found out wasn't his. That does happen. It's just like, man. I just want to know how you guys and gals feel out there if you find out that, after 18 years or, some longer period of time even, if you were to find out that baby's not yours, that baby is then not of mine, what would you do? What should you do? What could you do is the question. Ladies and gents, bear with me a few seconds. Perhaps it is really time to invest in some new equipment. Anything now. We could invest. but also we do like to get all the juice out of the, like to squeeze all the juice is essentially what I'm trying to tell you. That's what this is about. So if you think your boy's gonna get punked by some, GoPro or gimbal, dude, I'm gonna drain the battery out of you, son, daughter, cousins. Bear with me a few seconds, ladies and gents. There we go. What I'm trying to say is that I don't even know what I'm trying to say at this moment anymore. Just bear with me a few seconds till we get this bad boy right where we like it. There it is, I think. Perfect. Great. Fantastic. Ladies and gents, point is, if you find out the baby isn't yours, what do? I think, let's say you paid child support or you were their parent. Maybe you lived in the same household. You always had your suspicion. Like, man, doesn't really look like me, but it's got some traits of the mom or the dad or whatever. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Trying to fix this camera. Bear with me a few seconds. There it is. No, there it is, I think. So yeah, you've always had your suspicions. You're like, man, I can't throw a curveball, and the mom can't throw a curveball or a fastball. I can't do keep ups. I'm not that athletic. But this kid seems to have some sort of, it's a gift, and you take credit for it. It's my son, it's my daughter, doing long jump, doing backflips, or whatever. I think if you find out after a long period of time, let's break it down like this. If you find out after a long period of time that you had a child with somebody, but they're not yours, I think you should, because technically they're not. I'm just putting it out there. I don't know how I haven't given this much thought, to be honest with you, but I feel like if they're not your child, that you should, after they become of legal age, down the line, whenever they get married, if they get married, because the whole point of, I guess, getting married and having kids is to, I guess, pass on the old genes, the offspring. You'd like it to be yours, and if you were robbed of that opportunity, I think by that time you should be able to take your DNA, and if they're gonna have a baby, I think you should mix it up with their DNA so that they, at least a portion of your DNA gets, and you're like, but that's not the individual I wanted to have a baby with, and that is, and I know, and it's not, but it's like, it's compromise, I think. So you raise a stranger essentially till whenevs, and then let's say you have a son. You raise him till he's like 38, and then when he's gonna get married, because you'd like to pass on your genes, as because there's financial compensation we can talk about, but there's, I guess, genetic compensation. How do you make up for that? It's like, and it's not going to be what you asked for. At least, the lady that you got married to, that's the person, because it's a big deal who you want to like mix your genes with or something, because you're like, man, baby. So but that's the thing. At least I'm giving you an opportunity. At least I'm putting an option on the table for people who are, late in life, you realize that your child is not your biological child. How do you go and implement a baby in the future? You could just get married with somebody. You could have a baby later in life. I get you technically could. There's Al Pacino, I believe, and Robert De Niro. These guys, yeah, there's people doing it in their 80s. So there is precedence. You could go ahead and get married and have a baby late in life as well. But if you were like, no, I feel like I'm owed something, it's best to let maybe maybe get them to pay you money on how do you even calculate that? I don't know, dude. It's a big thing. It's a big, if you find that out, it's, I believe at least 3 million. 3 million, if you like raise somebody till they're like, 3 million, you should be able to like sue for 3 million if I'm not mistaken. And, that's just my gut telling me how much it's worth. It could be more, it could be less. It doesn't matter. The point is that, that is interesting. It happens out there. It's just one of those stories that came across my radar. I'm like, man, you're grayed out and you find out your kid's not yours. That's a kick in the nads. You still love them, I guess, or something. I don't even, there's so many mixed feelings. Maybe not. Maybe you feel like you've been living a lie your entire life. How do you put a price on that? That's out there, dude. Ladies and gents, boys and girls. Another interesting news in Alabama, and recently I just heard that embryos are now considered persons. which is, it gets you to question things, like. And we're back. That's right. If embryos are persons, what else could be persons? Just because again we had a little technical difficulty, let's just recap for a second. Alabama, Supreme Court in Alabama decides that embryos are persons, which is, if embryos are persons, if a sperm and an egg, frozen embryos are people, you know, it was just interesting because I'm like, in my opinion, it becomes like it's one of those things like, I guess it's the age old question of how long should you wait before you terminate the babies, when they're not babies, when they're not humans. So that's interesting that Alabama decided to do that. If embryos are babies, we're talking about just, we're just talking about sperm, a bunch of swimmers finding an egg, then day one of pregnancy. Is that a person? I doubt it. I don't think so in my book. Because if we're going to be considering just like, embryo, sperm and an egg a person, then, you could be saying that, I guess dudes be carrying half a person in them and ladies be carrying the other half. And that could just, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. I think it should come down to you as a parent. I think you should have the right to terminate your baby as long as you want, really. If you're a parent out there, and I'm not a parent, but if you're a parent out there, if you you don't know. You don't know. If you terminate at like 3 weeks, you never have the baby, you don't know. But have the baby, I say. Wait till they're like in their 40s and then really see if it's been worth it or not. Because, it takes some time for the fruits of your labor to be, yielding essentially. So if you want to, I say have the babies, wait till they're 40, 50 even. I say, as long as you like, because I'm not a parent, but I'm just saying if I were one, it's my kid, and I would say that it's my right to, but again, I'm not a parent. So I don't know how you guys and gals feel out there. Because if embryos are babies, then fucking, then little bit of, then snot coming out your nose could be babies. Then, you shedding skin could be babies. Then, you farting could potentially be babies. You farting and her farting at the same time could potentially be babies. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, ladies and gentlemen. It's embryo time. It's time to get your embryos in order. What could this mean potentially for, just laws in regards to abortion and whatnot? I don't know. Probably people will debate about it. It's just interesting why we're debating about these things. We're talking about that. I think it's one of those things that takes focus away from other important things that we could be discussing and doing together. Like figuring out affordable housing, man. How about that one? Let's figure that one out, and then we'll worry about, embryos. Let's do that, or something. I don't know. Maybe not. Who cares? The point is that if you want, then you could travel. If you get pregnant and you want to abort your baby, you could travel somewhere. Honestly, I think it'd be cheaper too. You travel somewhere tropical, where it's a little bit, where things aren't so on the book, where things aren't so on the up and up, where things are a little bit not up to your standards, but also, you guess what? It's all inclusive. You could do a cruise. You could do a 7-week, 2 weeks. You could go away for 2 weeks, board a baby, drink as much as you like, rub that puss anywhere you like, rub that cock anywhere you like, because you got to celebrate life now that you're not pregnant, because you can continue on, the party train continues, baby, and you catch a couple STDs and you come back and it's back to normsy. So all in all, it makes it difficult to get an abortion, and that with I think it's just, I think if you want to take a coat hanger to your vag, or if you've got a trusted individual that would like to take a coat hanger to your vag, there are better methods, of course, but if if it comes down to that, then but then you're risking all sorts of bleeding, and it's not fun, dude. It's not fun, ladies. I say, yeah. If it's up to me, I'd be if it were up to me, but it's not up to me. I'd say you'd have the right to abort your baby at any point in life, realistically, based on the results that they're producing out there. If it's like, because that's a big thing. It's a big thing. Having babies is a big, So, but that's just my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. What are we doing here? Man, we got so many things to talk about. So many little distractions could come. So many technical difficulties could pop up at any given moment. So let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. What year is it? The year is 1708. We are on a Spanish warship, a galleon, a large Spanish warship with lots of cannons and lots of up to 500 or 600 men's, scurvy-ridden men's, syphilis and men's. Half and half. Half the warship's population was syphilis. The other half was men's. And we're talking about dirty pirates. No, wait. It could be dirty pirates. It doesn't matter. It's 1708. What's going on in the world? The Spanish are going to South America, and they're getting people of South American origins to dig up gold, silver, and all those sorts of precious metals, fill up their boats, and then travel back to Spain. Meanwhile, fighting pirates. Meanwhile, fighting the British Navy. Meanwhile, in Europe, there's still witch hunts going on, because it took like 400 years, apparently. It was gruesome. That's crazy. 400 years of like witch hunts. And you had to. We did it together. Was it mass hallucination? Was it mass hypnosis? Was it mass manifestation? It apparently comes down a little bit, from my understanding, to one, boredom, lack of imagination and things to do. People staying in one community. Gossip becomes a form of entertainment. Next thing you know, you can only go do work for so long without starting to spew out things like, yeah, Sally's a witch, man. Because you get bored out there, man, in the middle of nowhere. In Europe, it's crazy. You did that 400 years. We did that to get together collectively. It's insane. And then you burn witches at the stake. And you know what's crazier? If you said somebody's a witch, and let's say you were in charge of determining who's a witch and who's not a witch. If the populace wanted to decide that this is a witch, and you had to kind of be the judge of, is this some witchery going on or not? You had to, and if you at one point or another felt a little bit of sympathy or empathy for society, if the public saw you as being a little bit lenient with calling people witches, then you get called a witch. So they're like, man, this guy's a fucking witch, dude. Yeah, that's right. They hit the dudes too. Mostly ladies, but dudes as well. It's crazy. So that was going on in 1708. Not all of it, but it was still lingering on. It was a good 400 years. So all I'm saying is, the Spanish came to South America, dug up some minerals, or got people to dig them up, got on a ship and went out there and battled against pirates, the British. I'm pretty sure some of the people were there too. Who knows? Sirens are at work. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, during a fight in 1708, a battle, you sunk my battleship. It wasn't my ship, actually. It was a Spanish ship that was carrying gold and silver, other precious metals. But nonetheless, it sank, and it's now in the Caribbean. And guess what? The treasure is worth $20 billion. That's right, $20 billion of sunken treasure, ladies and gentlemen. So this is what I'm planning on doing. I'd like to call dibs on the 20 billy. I just need a little crew. If you're listening, if you're viewing, this is what we need to do together. Syndicate, gang, fellow family members, mi familia. It's time to roll up our sleeves and go on a conquest or on a mission. I'm not sure if it's a conquest. We are going on it. It's an expedition of sorts. We are going to be, basically what I'm looking for, if you've got a submarine, holla at your mans. If you've got a large ship, a yacht, if you like to go on an adventure in search of gold, whose gold is it anyway? That's the thing. Again, I'm not an expert in any field, but this is how we learn and grow together. But if I'm not mistaken, they say finders, keepers. I believe that's written somewhere. I believe if you look closely, you will find that it says finders, keepers, clear as daylight, It's clear as crystal. Clear as the clear low in Scientology. Clear as macaque. Clear as an albino who's gone translucent. Clear like jizz. Clear like your lover's vaginal fluids. It's clear is what I'm trying to say. Clear like water. These are all great examples. You're welcome. It's clear to me that finders keepers. It feels to me that if it's wet, it's yours. No, wait. If it's wet, it's ours. If it's in the water is what I'm trying to say. I feel like if it's in the water and it's been since like 1708, who has claim over this gold? I say to the adventurer goes the spoils. No. Don't you go out there trying to spoil a good thing. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, there's treasure, and I need a few people. One individual, beautiful individual, doesn't matter, wherever you're at. If you got a yacht, if you got a submarine, I need a couple of, if you're like out there fucking pirating around, if you are from, maybe we could get anywhere in the world. I don't care where it's like, we come together, man. This could be, we still got some pirates. Let's bring him in. A couple of people with like, missing teeth, a couple of people with missing limbs, still doing it old school, man, because they're trying to fucking push you out with that new limb system coming in with the, move this limb with your mind. And all the neurons are attached. You're coming in there with the wooden legs, son. I respect that even more. Splinters in your kneecaps because you're like, I gotta be fucking reals to my ancestors or something. But who knows? So I need a couple of pirates. Essentially, if you are, if you come from a lineage of pirates, I'd like to, we could work together. If you've got one of those fucking, if you are good at like, just standing on a ship and yelling ship stuff, because I don't know too many ship terminology, but if you know how to like, maybe I can steer that shit. I'm pretty sure I've never done it before, but I could fucking skirt all over this. Water, dude. We're literally on water. What could go wrong? We're in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. We can get into the ocean later. That's what all I'm saying. It's wet, and we're gonna steal this. We're not gonna steal it. Don't call it stealing, because nobody's stealing from anybody. If anything, we're just doing an expedition. We're going down. It's our gold. 20 billion awaits you. I will DM me. We can go together. What will I do? I will oversee what goes down. We need a couple of people with scuba gear. All you need, that's very simple, is 2,000 to 3,000 feet below the water. So it's going to be a long dive. If we have more resources, we could send robots there to kind of like, but I say, if we get like 10 people, I think we can do this together. I don't think we need to bring robots in here. I don't think you need to bring in like some sort of fucking, robo dog that's gonna get wet and go fucking glitch and like start grabbing our junk. You know what I'm talking about? So none of that. Just good old men's and women's coming together, just going to work, really, taking off our tops, taking off our bottoms, getting comfortable with one another. Ample amounts of body lotion, ample amounts of bring that SPF. I, for one, have never, I'm not going to be the one who's bring water, but that's pretty much it. Bring some water with you, bring some fresh socks, bring some fresh, grooming gear, because it's going to be hot, because in the Caribbean, it's going to be messy, and it's going to be heavy, but the load is worth it. You're going to want that load in your mouth. It's so big. That load will be all over us. We are going to be showering in gold. Lines will be crossed. Adventures are awaiting us. They'll be had. We'll have them. Adventures await us. Drinking rum? Of course we could drink rum. Want to put a little bit of rum in your coffee? We could have it all. Really, it's 20 billion. You could have it all. So we're going to go down. Finders keepers. Keep it on the DL. We're going, but also wink, wink. We're not going. Psych. We totally went. I don't know how it works. I think people are going to be fighting over this, but like, in a modern sense, and like, we're going to take it to court. Somebody's going to take it to court, because whose gold is it? It could be Spanish gold, because the ship was Spanish. But then Colombia could get in there. Colombia could be like, we're already sending a government expedition. It's our gold. And then Bolivia is gonna be there from they're like, hey man, I just did a little bit of coke, man. I'm just thinking his gold belongs to us, man. So people are sniffing, people are excited. What we could do, our crew could wait for somebody to extract the gold and then heist the heisters. A double heist. And we do it all in the dark. We wait for everything to go down. Wait for the robot dogs to come get the gold. Wait for the professional scuba divers to go get the gold. And you're like, that's the thing. People are debating whether or not what should do with the gold. If you're like, oh, does it go in a museum? Does it belong in history? Does it belong in... Melt it and sell it for more or less. There's a lot of money. It's 20 billion. Or we can go splitsies, dude. Okay, what I do, I'm willing to offer a splitsies deal between me, the crew, the familia, and potential other governments that are interested. If Colombia, if Bolivia, if Spain want to get in there, we could do an even, we could do whatever. We could do all 80 me, 20 you, 80 me, 20 you. I'm willing to, of course, I'm open to negotiations. Just because it's Wednesday and I'm feeling generous, 70-30, I'll go 70-30 with you. I'll spit on my hand and we can shake on it right now, 70-30. Since you are taking it out of water, I'm overseeing things 60-40, 60-40, and I will not go any less than 60-40 split, dude. That is, you are, man, staying silent, letting me do all the talking. 50-50, alrighty, you are good. I'll give it to you, you are good. Negotiation tactician over here, 50-50, I will not budge below that. I think that is a good deal. Everybody wins. All right, fine. I see that you are looking at the agreement and you've yet to touch the pen. 40-60, 40-60, fair enough. You're doing the heavy lifting, but you do need somebody to oversee things. 40-60, I think, is more than fair. 30-70, 30% your boy, 70% you. Let us all walk away without having ourselves an all classic Mexican standoff, shall we? 30-70, 20-80, 20-80, and boys and girls, ladies and gents, today has been a specifically challenging day in terms of technical difficulties. We've had more than our regular share, which is probably an indication I should be definitely starting to implement a new recording mechanism or device. Probably will do that next. Yeah, I do, but that's what it is. You go along, you learn along the way, man. That's what it is, man. Shit happens. This camera's giving me a hard time. I'm probably gonna start recording with something else moving forward while I remedy what's going on over here. But in the meantime, let's continue and enjoy ourselves for the rest of the show. I do apologize. There have been too many interruptions that came about, and that's just because the camera, I guess, is getting old. That's what it is. I've had it for a few years now, and they don't make them like they used to make them anymore. They should keep making them better or something. We've definitely, when it comes to cameras, we've definitely made better cameras. So I guess that saying doesn't hold, that they don't make them like we used to make them anymore. They definitely make them better these days. So the battery's giving me a hard time. The overall system is it's heating up much quicker than it used to, but we are in a new location. This is a whole new, whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is, moving forward, Friday, or perhaps it's gonna take me a couple of days to get a little bit of extra equipment here, and then we'll figure it out. Not to worry your pretty little face. I don't want you to get your tits in a fucking, keep your tits on board. No worries, I got you. No need to get extra wet. But also, if you get extra wet, hells yeah, and this is what this podcast does. Increase your testosterone. Gets you harder, bigger, faster boners. Make sure your labials are always moist. So, ladies and gents, let's talk about the last thing that I'd like to talk about for today, and that is conjugal visit sex. I've been thinking about this, and it's one of those, you have regular sex, which is nice. You have, we'll go get a hotel or a motel. sex, which is also dope. We can sex in the car. We can sex in the boat. We can sex in the shed. Oh, the elevator. We're going down an elevator shaft. Oh no, the elevator stopped working. It seems it's gonna take 2-3 hours to get us out of here. What are we to do? Are these cameras still on or are these cameras still off? Do we put on a show or do we simply, I don't know, maybe we could, if we knew the cameras were off, that's one thing. Then we could just go at it and get wild. But if you're not sure, and that's something, you could maybe use a piece of clothing item to block the cameras. And while for 3 hours it takes them to come and get you, you can be doing 69 in an elevator shaft, which is great, which is amazing. You could do the sex on a plane. You know how there's snakes on a plane? Guess what? You can suck on those snakes, dude. Ladies, snakes, planes, and sex. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, that I thought about this and I'm like, man, conjugal visit sex is something that I've never experienced because I've never gone to prison and I have no desire to ever go to prison, unless we're doing some sort of like a fun little activity for prisoners. We could do that. But personally, I don't want to experience going to jail or prison. But conjugal visit sex, that's something I could be interested in. I said, if I'm interested in that, then there's probably millions, if not hundreds of millions, if not billions of people that are interested in conjugal visit sex, which is why I decided to team up with absolutely nobody at this point, but later down the line, who knows? The possibilities are endless. We might team up with, you name it, or not, doesn't matter. The point is that we like to create conjugal visit sex for regular people. What we're willing to do is come up with a way to come collect you and put you away for a limited amount of time, up to a week, 10 days, maybe 3 months, according to your needs, according to your satisfaction, however long you need to be away from your partner in order to feel like, oh my God, he or she is in jail and it's gonna be a long time before we get to bang once again. And you're like, man, I wonder if this could happen without my lover having to actually go out there and commit a crime. Now it can. Thanks to, all you gotta do is download this app, Conjugal Visit Sex. That's the name of the app. We'll make it an app and we'll make it into a facility as well. We'll come get your partner. We'll convict them with a fake crime, with a real fake crime, because it's real, it's happening in real life, but it will be fake. We'll come, we'll put them behind bars, we'll give you a little, we can do the whole thing. You can enact the whole thing. We will hire fake bailiffs, real fake bailiffs, real fake judges, real fake lawyers, really fake, but real, still real lawyers. And we'll put them in a facility. And after a month goes by, you're sitting at home twirling your hair, sucking on your own toes, sniffing his underwear, sniffing her panties, sniffing her bra, maybe going over to the bathroom and sniffing her toothbrush. You just, all the items, sniffing the handlebar of the fridge, sniffing the carpet where she used to walk, sniffing her side of the bed. You get the point. You're sniffing stuff that she used to touch, so the pheromones are still remaining. You're like, man, I miss Becky. Too bad she's in jail. I gotta wait for my conjugal visit sex. But that's the thing. Normally you'd actually have to have Becky do a crime. Now you don't have to. She's away for a month. You go do conjugal visit sex. And guess what? A couple of days after, fake release, but real fake release, she comes out. But that's the thing. You get to have all the excitement of, one-way mirrors. Having to go in and sign in front of people, letting them know that I'm coming to give dick, dude. It's my time. Becky's getting it. Let the officers know. And I want the cameras off. Whatever happens in conjugal visit sex stays in conjugal visit sex. Unless we're recording. We might be recording. We could record if you like us to. If you like us to, we could record. We could have somebody in the room with you. You're like, no, I want all officers out. And when you say no, we know that you mean really you want some officers to be in. So yes, we hear you loud and clear. There won't be any recordings, wink, wink. There won't be any officers. There won't be anybody actually telling you, the time's almost up. There won't be somebody adding that. There totally will be, dude. There's gonna be somebody adding pressure to your sex, so your conjugal visit sex can be even greater whilst you're wearing your smart cock ring, might I add. So all this and more, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining me. It is getting extremely cloudy over here in Toronto. We've had our fair share of technical difficulties today. Once again, thank you for joining me, for being a part of my life. Thank you for all your love and support and your patience, and you're just feeling grateful to be alive and kicking, having having a big ball together, having a blast together. Wow, dark clouds are coming in over us, coming in hot. But also, where else would you be able to find these videos other than Instagram and YouTube and Patreon for the time being? Nowhere else. So that's right. Go ahead and follow me there on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you'd like to support the show. That's one way you can support the show. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. That's one of the biggest ways you can support the show. And it's just one of those reminders that you get the full-length videos every week. And once again, if you'd like to financially, physically support the show so that we buy equipment such as anti-heating recording devices, anti-heating batteries, anti-heating people who see heat and are like, ugh, not for this guy, but I want that guy. Or a girl who'd get really hot, but she won't say anything. Ooh, I'm so hot. My bra is really uncomfortable, but she won't say anything. We'll get one of those ladies to join the team. Or maybe we'll get a lady who won't wear bras. That's better. A lady who fucking sees bras and says, ha, no, not for my pups, not for these tits. She'll say that. Free range tits. She'll say that in her most feminine voice. Just fucking, every day in the office, just fucking pointing in different directions. What a wonderful sight for everybody. That's right, you'll get some of that. And more, way more. So thank you for joining me. I'll be back here again next Friday, which is this Friday. And in the meantime, be good to yourselves. Love you all. Thank you again. And to get out of here, deuces. Peace.